a playoff game in more than 20 years. The Bengals not only won one, but they found themselves in the Super Bowl. Behind Joe Cool, the Bengals have their sights set on glory yet again. Only do they have what it takes? Joe Burrow sacked 70 times between the regular season and the postseason, so they've worked on that offensive line. Also keep in mind, though, the Bengals have one of the toughest schedules in the NFL, and they don't have great odds when it comes to winning the Super Bowl. They're okay, but considering they were in it, they are the 10th favorite team to win. But you're taking a look at AFC teams there. The Bengals sitting at 22-1 odds. The Bills have the best odds at 7-1. They also have the best odds out of the entire NFL. Let's welcome in the host of the Pick Six podcast, Will Brinson here. But here's the thing, Will. Are you in a good mood today or a bad mood? Like, how are we feeling? I'm
in a good mood. Why? Well, first of all, what was that? What was I the other day? I was like super amped to be here talking some Bengals. Let's go. I'm in a good mood, I guess.
Because I think this would be a great thing to do if you're in a bad mood. We're here to crush hopes and dreams. That is what I want to do today. We're going to talk about why each of these teams will not win this Super Bowl. So let's start with the Bengals because we actually heard from Joe Burrow this week. He said, look, I know we were good going to last year, but we weren't really sure if we had what it took. He says, we now know what it takes, but I want you to tell Joe Burrow why he won't win the Super Bowl.
See, you're wrong there, though, Amanda. If I'm in a good mood, I want to crush hopes and dreams because that's only going to put me in a better mood. And I think with the Bengals, you can come up with some pretty easy reasons. I mean, maybe they were the easiest team to think about. One, like, let's start with the idea that they could just have a Super Bowl hangover and that we could see some regression from them in 2022, right? And it could even be regression, not just from the Bengals, but from elsewhere in the division. The Baltimore Ravens lost over 190 games, according to Football Outsiders, to injury last year. That is by far the most, 40 more than the next team, and then 70 more than the third place team. So Baltimore could be a major problem to prevent them from getting there if they end up having a better season as a result of a positive regression. And I do think the Bengals could be due for a little negative regression. Additionally, what if the offensive line improvements don't work? The Chiefs went out and got a bunch of new offensive linemen last year, and it took them well over half a season to really get everything right with how they needed to have it in terms of their offensive line. And if you look at the most sacks taken in a Super Bowl all time, as you can see on the screen, Joe Burrow tied with Roger Staubach, just ahead of Cam Newton and Joe Theismann, got sacked 70 times in the season as a whole, or 70 for the regular season and 89 or whatever it was for the full season. Maybe the offensive line doesn't get better, and maybe Joe Burrow is sacked into oblivion again. That would obviously be a pretty big problem. And then finally, I think that you can look at the Bengals and you can say that the defense still might not stop anyone. They weren't 24th by DVOA against the pass. And it's entirely possible that if the offense takes a little step back and the defense still can't stop anyone against the pass, that Cincinnati isn't as good as they were last year. And, they might not get lucky in the playoffs either.
I realize this is why Pete Prisco is always so internally happy, because he gets to make everyone miserable. And now we're on that. Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.